The story of betrayal often begins in the places we least expect, within the spaces we share with the people we love. I was 38 years old, living a life that looked perfect from the outside. I had a loving wife, Camila, who had stood by me through everything, and twin boys, for years old, who filled our home with noise, laughter, and life. I had a solid career as a software engineer working at a promising tech startup. Life wasn't flawless, but it was one I built with my own hands and one I was proud of. Then it shattered not by a stranger or a distant betrayal, but by someone who shared my blood, my past, and my secrets. My younger sister, Vivian, and I had always been close. As kids, we fought over silly things like who had the remote or who got the last piece of candy, but when it counted, we always had each other's backs. Our bond grew even tighter after our parents divorced when I was 15 and she was 12. The divorce was a heavy blow, but it brought us closer. Vivian became my confidant in a world that had suddenly become uncertain. Over time, our lives took different paths. I worked hard, built a family, and found stability. Vivian didn't. She dropped out of college twice, bounced between unstable relationships, and never stayed in one place for too long. I never judged her. I believe people found their footing in different ways. What I didn't see was how much resentment she had been quietly harboring. It started with small comments during family gatherings, snide remarks about how easy I had it, how I was always the favorite, the golden child. I dismissed it as harmless sibling rivalry. I loved her, and I thought that would always be enough. Then came the money requests, rent help, car payments, medical bills. I always said yes. That's what you do for family, right? I thought I was doing the right thing. But to her, it wasn't generosity. It was humiliation. She once told me, "I hate that I have to ask. I hate that you can just give me money and make it look like charity." I didn't realize how deeply that bitterness had grown. The tipping point came at a birthday party for our nephew. It was a typical family event. Kids running around, the smell of barbecue, laughter echoing in the backyard. Vivian had been drinking, which wasn't unusual, but something felt off. She cornered me by the pool, away from everyone, and demanded $15,000 to start a catering business, one she had never mentioned before. I hesitated. I asked her to put together a business plan, something to show me she was serious. That was all it took. She exploded, yelling that I thought I was better than her, accusing me of treating her like a failure, comparing me to our father. The party went silent. Everyone heard. It was humiliating. I stayed calm. Eventually, our mother and our brother Marcus convinced her to leave. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. 3 weeks later, 2 detectives showed up at my office. They asked to speak with me privately. I felt it in my gut. Something was wrong. But nothing could have prepared me for what they said. Vivian had filed a police report accusing me of sexually abusing her when we were children. The allegations were detailed and, according to the detectives, credible. I was numb. All I could say was, that never happened. But I knew how empty that sounded. How do you prove something didn't happen? How do you defend yourself against a lie from 25 years ago? The detectives told me I wasn't under arrest yet, but I needed to stay in town, avoid contact with her, and get a lawyer. Camila was shocked but stood by me completely. I saw the fear in her eyes, not fear of me, but fear of what this would do to our family, to our kids, to our life. I felt that same fear. Within 48 hours, I was suspended from work. Within a week, the rumors began. Friends avoided us. Parents at my son's preschool looked away when they saw us. The presumption of innocence meant nothing in reality. My life had already been consumed by the accusation before I could even defend myself. My attorney, Patricia Hendris, was honest. These cases were incredibly difficult. It would be my word against Vivian's. And juries often believe the accuser in child abuse cases. We worked tirelessly, reviewing family photos, calendars, any record that could poke holes in her timeline. And when the preliminary hearing came, I watched her on the stand, delivering her story with perfectly timed tears, a carefully measured tremble in her voice. From the outside, she looked like a woman finally speaking her truth. But I knew better. The trial dragged on for 8 months. 8 months of legal hell, financial strain, emotional torture. Camila stood by me, but I could see it wearing her down. Some family members quietly distanced themselves. The damage was everywhere. Then came the shift, the unraveling. Patricia began to pick at Vivian's story. Little inconsistencies, minor contradictions that started to build reasonable doubt. But the real turning point came when Patricia questioned her about an incident Vivian claimed happened during Christmas, when I was 17 and she was 14. She said it happened at our house, while our parents were at a neighbor's party. But Patricia pulled out a photograph, one I had forgotten even existed. It showed our entire family at my grandmother's home, 3 hours away on that very day. When confronted, Vivian didn't adjust her story, she panicked. She lashed out, accused Patricia of trying to twist her words. Then Patricia asked the final question. Is it possible you were mistaken about when these events happened, or that they didn't happen at all? Silence fell. Vivian looked at me, for the first time during the entire trial, and I saw it. Not fake tears, not fury, real fear. Then she broke. I made it up, she whispered. Her lawyer tried to stop her, but it was too late. She kept talking, admitting it all. How she'd been angry, jealous. How she wanted to ruin me the way she believed life had ruined her. The trial ended immediately. She was charged with perjury and filing a false police report. I was cleared, my name restored, my job reinstated. But the betrayal never left me. The damage she caused will always linger. I haven't spoken to her since. She moved across the country after her sentencing, and as far as I know, she hasn't contacted anyone in the family. A few tried to reach out. She told them I deserved what she did. Sometimes I wonder if I should have seen it coming. But I didn't, and I don't think I ever really could have.